Well, this video may be up a little bit late because I was having too much fun watching the end of the season of the Formula One season. I said season way too many times. Yeah, what an end of year race that was. I'm buzzing from McLaren as a McLaren fan. Super happy about that. Today, my video is going to be my Pan That Palette update for December. We're actually rounding up to 1 year in this challenge, I think in January, but I wanted to do my update this month. This is of course what the palette is. It is my Pure, I don't know how you pronounce it, Soiree Diaries palette. And I started this, I think literally on January the 1st, I started working on this project. And the aim of the game that I do for my Pan That Palette is it's either reach pan in every single eyeshadow in the palette, or until I reach 1,000 uses in this palette. Without further ado, let's see where we're up to now. Okay, so this is where we're at. I don't know if the lighting is going to show you this properly, but the entire top row is now panned. That is a new moment. That is a new change that's happened. We've officially panned everything on the top row. Now this one is quite big because this was panned before this Pan That Palette began, and I decided that every single time I'll use this palette, I'll also dip into this shade and kind of just like see how many uses it would take me, or where it would get me with how many uses I'm using. You know what I mean? So in total, the month that I've had the most uses was in October, which is not a surprise. I had 48 uses with this palette. 48 uses, I guess technically is because I'm using multiple colours more than once. You know, it's only like 31 days in October, so you can kind of calculate that yourself. Like I used more colours more than once in that time period. You know, because I usually like double or triple the colours up together. The month I used these eyeshadows the least, or that I wore makeup the least, was in February when I used it 22 times. This shade, as I already mentioned, is already panned. I've now used it 130 times within this project. That's how many times I've dipped myself into this eyeshadow palette. It's 130 times. Then this eyeshadow here is freshly hit pan, literally only this month, and this month in December. So this eyeshadow here, that took me 49 uses to hit pan, which is the most out of all of the top row, which actually surprised me because it is, you know, a light shade. You would think I'll probably use it more, but apparently not. I loved using this as like a little blending shade to like blend out any like harsh colours. Going forward, I'm going to be only working on the two bottom rows and this eyeshadow, so we're no longer going to be focusing on the top row. So they will be forgotten about going forward. I forgot to mention Mogul is the shade that I've hit pan on. Then we have a Splurge. This eyeshadow I've used 17 times in total. Then we have Stunner, which is this shade, and I have used it 15 times. We have Snazzy, which I have used 15 times, and Epic, which I've used 15 times. Then Glitzy 14 times, Twinkle 12 times, Dazzle 14 times, and Cosmo 13 times. And you can actually see the dip is dipping in this eyeshadow down here at the bottom. I do think that's going to be the first one to go out of the shimmery eyeshadows, and I feel like it will probably happen before I even reach that eyeshadow to work on consistently. Basically, I've been having like a specific eyeshadow that I dip into every single time, which, you know, last few months has been Mogul, and then I would always dip into like one of the other eyeshadows, so it would be like Mogul and then Splurge. Literally today, actually, I used Mogul and Glitzy, so I used these two shades together. So yeah, and then tomorrow I will be using, or next time I wear makeup, not necessarily tomorrow, I'll be using Splurge, and then with Splurge I'll be using Twinkle, so I will like double it up. I'll also be dipping into this eyeshadow as well. But yeah, I'm really happy with the progress with this eyeshadow palette. I do think I will probably hit pan and everything before I reach the 1000 goal. We're currently at a usage of 372 uses in this eyeshadow palette, so that is me dipping for each individual eyeshadow. That adds up to 372. So even though I'm using more eyeshadows than once, that's how I'm doing it. Do I think I will probably reach this next year? I'm uncertain because it took me that long to reach pan in these 3 eyeshadows. So I hit pan in Private Party in June, and Socialite I then hit pan in September, and then this one in December. It's been taking me, what, 3 months each when I'm just specifically working on the eyeshadow to reach pan. So maybe I will hit pan in this in a couple of months, but then, you know, there's 8 eyeshadows, and if that's 3 eyeshadows a year, it'll take me another couple of years. But you know what, I foresee myself ending this sooner than that because of the shimmers and because they are dipping. They got more of a dip than the matte eyeshadows anyway. So yeah, I'm pretty happy. Not much more else to add on here, but look at the dips on like this eyeshadow and this eyeshadow. They are dipping. Maybe in 2025 I will switch up how I wear makeup and I start wearing it more regularly, because I have mentioned this many times before, but I don't really wear makeup on weekdays whilst I'm working, simply because I never know if I'm going to be on camera or not, and if I'm not on camera then I don't feel like I need to be wearing makeup, so I just end up not wearing it. But maybe I can start wearing it a little bit. We'll see. That is my current status with my Pan That palette. We are now, well, we're pretty much nearly at 1 year. A couple of weeks until we actually hit a year. How long do you reckon I will take until I can finish this? A year or 2 years? Or before that? Or between that? That's my update for today. That is my Pan That palette progress. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.